if we can go ahead and get started for our Sophia Travis Grant Presentation Committee meeting. The time is 4:31, and today is Wednesday, July 26, 2023, and we are here in the Nat U. Hill Room. My name is Jennifer Crossley, and I will be chairing our meeting for today. And I would just like to give a little bit of a brief introduction of some of our committee members since we have some new faces. So I'd like to start here at my left and then go to our committee members that are on via Zoom as well. If you could just announce your name and who you are.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jean Kapler, and I'm excited to be part of this committee.
Which one? I don't know. Oh, okay, I found the on button. That was easy. My name is Hattie Johnson. I'm new to this committee and excited to be here and excited to hear your presentations.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Munson, member of the County Council, and always happy to be at these committee meetings. We look forward to having organizations present what they do to the public and also about their proposed projects. Thank you all for coming today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Peter Iverson. I'm on the Monroe County Council, and I'm also thrilled to be here today.
Awesome. Thank you all. And just want to give a major shout out to everybody who is here and those that are participating via Zoom for the work that you do in the community to keep our community members thriving and growing. And you are here, and we are very much eager and excited to hear your presentations that you will give to us as well. So just a couple of reminders. If you do need a agenda, they should be on the back there, so please pick one up. And if you look at the agenda and the applicant presentation order, you will see these were chosen at random, and you'll see the name of the organization, and then you'll see a number in parentheses. That number in parentheses for those here in the Nat U. Hill Room, as well as those in our virtual land, that is the page number of the particular application on the packet. So if you're wondering what the 32 means, for example, that's page number 32 in the packet for those who want to follow along if you deem that necessary. So just a few reminders. Applicants need to sign in for the record, and we have a line, we have the next line and the applicant sign in and then wait for their turn. So if you see that you're up next and the person before you is presenting, go ahead and start lining up. And as you are lining up, we just ask, as you are getting ready to speak, to go ahead and sign in for the record. And if you see us maybe pointing towards the mic, that means we can't hear you, and we just need to have the audio sound great for those that are listening virtually as well, and for that to play back, and for everybody to hear in the Nat U. Hill Room as well. Before speaking, again, I just said that, adjust the microphone so it's directly in the mouth, well, towards your mouth. And then applicants will be given 3 minutes to make your presentation. You will hear a sound when there is 30 seconds left of the presentation. And if TSD can help us to demonstrate that sound that folks will hear. Survey says. It'll be a sound that's not silent. So you'll hear a sound, it's almost like a doorbell door chime sound to let you know, again, that you have 30 seconds to finish wrapping up your presentation. Again, grant awards will be announced during our County Council work session meeting, and that is on Tuesday, August 23rd at 5:30 p.m. right here in the Nat U. Hill Room. And that was the sound, so if you heard it, it's a little doorbell there. So we will go ahead and get started since we are all busy folks here, and we will start with the Cancer Support Community. Welcome.
I'll go ahead and share my screen so we can show the presentation
Okay.
slides if you give me just a moment.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Shelton, Development Manager with Cancer Support Community, and I'm here today to talk about our request in our organization. I wanted to start off with some general information about our organization. We're a nonprofit that supports anyone who has been impacted by cancer. This includes family members, survivors, patients, even caregivers and friends. All of our programs are welcome to anyone. We have several new programs throughout the last year I wanted to update you on. We've added a number of different support groups, a mindfulness group, a breast cancer group, a prostate cancer group, and a Morning Joe's group, which is more of a casual group for men, coffee and chatting about life and friends and experiences. We have had a request for more support groups, so that is an area that we hope to grow even further in the future, especially with cancer-specific diagnoses support groups. We've also added various educational programs. Just one example is a neuropathy class that we had earlier this year, and we've added an art therapy program, among other things. There are a couple of things that we would like to do this year that we are asking your help with. We've been requested by the radiation centers to add calendula cream and water bottles for the radiation patients. The calendula cream is a special cream that is very effective at treating burns on skin, and which is very important for radiation cancer patients. This cream is not inexpensive. For a 2-ounce tube, it's almost $15. So for someone who's got a lot of bills adding up, this would be a huge help just to get a small tube even for the time that they're experiencing those treatments. Part of our request is for that. Part of our request is for the same thing that we asked for last year, which is food assistance and transportation assistance for patients who are in active treatment. And then water bottles. So water bottles is the other new thing that we wanted to talk about. When a cancer patient in radiation goes in, if the cancer diagnosis is in the pelvic region, it's very important that they have their bladder completely full. So we are asking for water bottles. These would be reusable water bottles that we could give to patients in radiation that they could fill and use to fill their bladder while they're getting ready for their treatments. Additionally, we are asking for some wigs this year, wig kits actually. We're asking for wig kits because we've had over the past year about 33 people who have come in to get wig kits. This year we've already had in only half the year 24 people, so we expect that number to keep growing. So we are asking for a little bit of help getting some extra wig kits as well. Other than that, I am open for questions if there are any opportunities.
From my understanding, Ms. Mosier, we're not having any questions. That's right, okay.
No questions.
So no questions, and then no public comment. This is just your time to give your presentations.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
Sorry, my name is not long, but I don't have initials. I have to write out Community Kitchen. So I'm Vicki Pierce from Community Kitchen. We appreciate the opportunity to be here. We are the largest provider of free meals in the community. Last year we served 298,151 meals. Nearly 100% of our patrons are county residents because all of our outreach programs and all of our services focus here on the county. We do sometimes have folks, move in or traveling through who will use us, but those are few and far between. We have our main facility and our satellite facility where we serve dinner every day, and then we have a food truck that's out 6 days a week, 3 days in Ellettsville, 3 days in town, to neighborhoods for whom folks have more of transportation issues to get to our main locations. And then we have several outreach programs for children. Many of which I'm sure you're familiar with, but our Backpack Buddies program, our Feed Our Future program, we provide snacks and meals after school hours, and then it's still summer, and so we've been delivering lunches to children in 11 neighborhoods all summer. along with our Backpack Buddies program as well in the summer. So busy time of the year for us. Our request is for funds for food. Food obviously is very central to what we do, and as we all know, because we all have to grocery shop, food prices are very much higher than they were a year and 2 years ago. For some perspective, 6 months into this year, we've already spent $118,434 just on food. That's up from $98,000 last year at this time, so that's up 21%. Our meals served right now, we're at $164,761 at the end of June, so that's getting ready to jump a bunch, but that's up 19%. So if those meal numbers, those meal counts, that increase holds for the rest of the year, we'll have a record year this year, and we will have a record year by potentially as much as 10% over any other year. And so we'll be well over 300,000 meals and snacks served this year. 62% of the people we serve right now are children, 15% are seniors, and 14% have experienced being unhoused sometime in the last 6 months. So it really are the county's most vulnerable folks. The other reason this request is so important to us this year is that hopefully later this fall, maybe early into next year, we will be completely demolishing and rebuilding our Express location near Crestmont area. We were able to acquire that facility, ownership of that last year. It's a really old rundown building that sits poorly on that site, so we'll be able to completely demolish and rebuild that, make a much nicer facility, much better, better utilization for our patrons, and a much better, better looking corner there in the edge of Crestmont. So, and that's something obviously we're going to spend a lot of time and resources on this fall, so additional funds for food would be helpful. Since you're not asking questions, I'm guessing I'm done. Thank you.
And it looks like we just had a couple of people join in. Again, the way that if you haven't received a agenda and presentation order, it is in the back there, and we are going in order that you see there. And so we are asking as the presenter is presenting, and if you see that you are up next, to expeditiously move along here and just stand in line to wait your turn to the next presentation. All right, thank you.
Hello, my name is Reverend Sarah Lynn Gershon. I'm the associate pastor at First Christian Church down on Kirkwood. And our church has been, in some ways, serving the homeless population for a long time. We hosted the Interfaith Winter Shelter. We also hosted a hot breakfast called The Gathering Place for over 10 years. But when Shalom started their breakfast, we sent volunteers over to run breakfast on Sunday mornings there. During the pandemic, many of you know that Shalom Beacon had to stop serving food on Sunday mornings on the weekends. And we had, one of our congregants noticed that we had people coming before church wanting to eat at our coffee fellowship hour, and there wasn't a lot of food. So we're asking for funds for what we're calling the Welcome Table. It's a breakfast that we are hosting on Sunday mornings. It just was officially kind of started this year, so it was only this last year that we were able to have it in the budget in our church. Before that, it was being just funded by congregants bringing food. When we started, this was, very small. But over this year, we've grown to have up to 75 people on Sunday mornings. So we started with a few people who had been members of the church or coming, congregants who have been coming a long time, who were housing insecure and hungry. Then our coffee fellowship room started to overflow, and so we moved up to the Great Hall, and now we are pretty full every Sunday. Our mission is to provide a welcoming space where people can meet their needs for food and fellowship. We really don't want to be just a place for people to eat. We want it to be a joyful place for people to eat. We want people to feel welcomed. We want people to receive food that we would eat, and we would serve our friends and family as well. So our breakfast is a continental-style breakfast. We serve hard-boiled eggs, we serve cheese, meats, bread, like a bologna, or when ham is on sale, ham, bread, orange juice, cereal, oatmeal. This is because, like many organizations, our volunteer capacity has gone way down. And so we are not able to do a hot breakfast at this time, though we are thinking about starting that again in the future. The reason that we're coming to you for some aid is, again, as our last person said, food prices have gone way up, and the number of people coming have gone way up over the year. So we are hoping to get support from the wider Monroe County, from our wider Monroe County neighbors to help fund this breakfast and serve this need for food on Sunday mornings. There's really not a lot of other options for the people who are coming. There's not a lot of options even for lunch on Sundays. So a lot of our people that come and dine with us will pack a lunch to go as well with some of the food that we provide. And we've just gotten a lot of thanks. It's been very joyful. So the cost of the food went up. We project that it's going to go up quite a bit next year. We budgeted $4,000 for this year, and we've doubled purchases at least. And so we are asking for help with some of our main staples for the hard-boiled eggs and the milk for the year, and then we will be covering the rest of that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I don't think I have anything else to say about this, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a comment that apparently with my screen being shared, the timers will not work.
Okay.
So I can make a comment when the 3 minutes are up, if that's beneficial.
Oh, yeah, and maybe if you could just say 30 seconds so the
Okay.
presenter knows. Okay,
Will do.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is Clint Deck. I am your local 4-H Extension educator with Purdue Extension. I will be presenting on the farm to school field trips that are in your packet. They may more accurately be described as school to farm educational trips. So before I give a summary of the proposal, I thought I could just tell you guys a little bit about what Purdue Extension is. We are Indiana's largest, we're Indiana's educational partner for life. We strive to care for the needs of all 92 Indiana counties by transforming research to reality and using our expertise to better our communities. Our work is done through 3 program areas mainly: health and human sciences, ag and natural resources, and 4-H youth development. We also use community development specialists and nutrition education program advisors here in the county. 4-H, as we zero in on that specific program area, it is a program that's been around for youth for over 100 years. It's grown into the largest youth development organization in the country. It exists in every county in the entire United States. And we prepare youth for adulthood through after-school programs, clubs, school enrichment, camps, workshops, special programs, and just a lot of partnerships as well. So as our proposal for the Sophia Travis grant entails, we are sort of a collaborator and a gatherer of different partners that are trying to put on these field trips again this year. We implement our own programs, and we also help other people in the county come together to combine resources to implement programming. So in 2022, we had a very successful program. We had 9 field trips that hosted 7 Title I schools. Those trips took place between September and October last year. So we were able to get all 7 Title I schools. Schools like Summit are huge, so that required 2 field trips for them. So we had Sober Mesa, New Ground Farm, Marble Hill Farm participate. We had education that covered farming, agriculture, nutrition, natural resources, extracurricular youth organizations, and food production. 8 community partners helped out.
30 seconds remaining.
But as we learned, and as community organizations often happens with them. We had funding last year, but those community partners don't necessarily have funding to help with this program this year, although MCCSC would really like to continue with the program. Education was planned. I'm way behind time. I'm going to try to hurry through this. So education was planned for the kids on the field trips. We had all sorts of lessons planned for the trip. They got to spend the day at the farm learning about food, learning about nutrition. So the thing that I loved most about these trips last year was that I got to see kids sort of be educated on their inner humanity in my terms. They got to understand that the best things in life are free, like knowledge, natural resources, and the ability to combine these efforts into a career, or at least find newfound excitement in food and natural wonders available at their fingertips if they know how and where to reach. So as we can imagine, children need seeds of hope and knowledge planted so that they can imagine a life of health and happiness, learning about food, nutrition, and how to take natural resources and bring them into their own life, their own family, even educate their parents to grow their own food, to have promise for the future on, not everything has to be an opportunity. It can be something that they can create for themselves as well. So in summary, I think this is something that if it doesn't work for the grant, at least the partners in the room, I wanted to make sure that they knew about this so that all partners in the county can help make these field trips a reality this year. And I think if we can make year 2 a success, then this could be a decades-long field trip that is as popular as Peden Farm, Honey Creek School, zoo trips, and all of the other trips that Monroe County students remember for a lifetime. So thank you.
All right, thank you. And again, just so that we can make sure that we are just sticking to the 3-minute mark, Ms. Mosier will announce 30 seconds so that you can start wrapping up your presentation. And then once you hit 30 seconds, we'll say time. And if you can just finish wrapping up your statement and end your presentation. All right.
Great. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Brooke Turpin. I'm the development director for WFHB Radio. And
I am Aisha Essex. I'm the youth radio director at WFHB.
so we are from your community radio station, WFHB, but today we're going to talk about our youth radio program. The youth radio program was established in 1995 and has been an incredible, important resource for youth in the community ever since. The program takes place every Saturday evening from 6 to 10 p.m., and young people are encouraged to express their views, ideas, and artistry in whatever form that feels comfortable to them. The program invites young people of all backgrounds to learn basic audio production skills, be mentored by experienced media producers and engineers, and empower them to create live on-the-air shows and podcasts so that their peers can listen to voices like their own.
So far, youth radio has done well with its current recording and production equipment, but as the program has grown, so has its technical needs. We are asking for funding to purchase a new digital mixer and equipment with off-site recording capabilities. Youth radio has been making strides in recording and broadcasting young bands in Monroe County. Our goal is to expand perceptions about the kind of music that young people are making and capture high-quality recordings that are appropriate for rebroadcasting during the youth radio program.
This project would enable us to partner with youth organizations more readily, like Girls Rock Bloomington, or the undergraduate groups housed in IU's Jacobs School of Music, as well as the burgeoning hardcore and punk bands that perform at all ages venues around town. At the moment, youth radio has no way to provide a quality and reliable multi-track recording of these proposed groups. This equipment would allow us to record and mix musical groups of any size on location with professional fidelity and help us maintain our integrity that we strive for. In addition, this equipment would give, in addition, this equipment would give our engineering instruction a much needed chapter of focus. teaching youth radio participants how to engineer with equipment that is common in the industry gives them practical skills that they can use at a later time and hopefully embolden them to pursue their own projects within youth radio and as they
30
move forward
seconds
into their
remaining.
adulthood. Do you want to take the last one? Okay.
We are excited about this new chapter in youth radio's history and look forward to finding new ways to support Monroe County youth. In the past 2 years, WFHB has managed to reignite the youth radio program after stagnation during COVID and received funding from the Community Foundation of Bloomington and Monroe County, as well as receiving a 3-year grant from a private family donation to fund the position for my full-time position as youth radio director. Because of these funds, the program is growing stronger than ever, and we hope to make Monroe County Council and Sophia Travis program a part of youth radio's future success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Chris Muncy, and I'm proud to represent Sojourn House tonight. Sojourn House exists to defend, restore, and liberate women who have been trafficked. Sojourn House is a 501c3 here in Monroe County that offers refuge, healing, and restoration for women 18 years and older escaping human trafficking and exploitation. Through trauma-informed care and a focus on mental health and addictions recovery, women build resilience, sustainability, and personal success through outreach and case management. Through the outreach that we do downtown and education initiatives, we continue to expand and foster positive results among the most vulnerable in our community. The project we're looking at funding centers around transportation and food. We found that transportation is such a vital part of the outreach and residential programs of Sojourn House. Local transportation is covered by bus passes that we supply, but in other circumstances, we rely on rideshare models like Uber and Lyft, our many volunteers, and our staff. At times, our clients in Monroe County need to travel outside the local bus routes to access safe housing, recovery programs, medical specialists, court proceedings, and family reunification milestones. In addition, funding for food helps us provide on-the-spot groceries for women as soon as they choose safe housing, which was a great reassurance for a woman trying to leave a situation she needs out of. We're really proud to share some of these moments that have happened just this summer alone. Transportation has been critical in getting clients to residential substance treatment programs as far as Vigo County, long-awaited family reunification in Owen County, long-needed medical specialist appointments all over the place, a client who started her first-time employment that wasn't on the bus route, and she earned her very first paycheck through that. And for one client, a very joyful ride to pick up her new GED. We're asking for funds to expand our efforts to provide food and transportation for more of the 75 clients with the in-depth needs they have to wrap around care for the women we serve in Monroe County. Thank you.
Hi. Can I go? My name is Nick Voiles, and I'm the executive director of the Indiana Recovery Alliance here in Bloomington, Indiana. We serve some of the most marginalized people in our area. According to the CDC in 2019, Indiana had the highest rate of new infections of hepatitis C in the country. COVID numbers have somewhat jiggled that because testing wasn't done as much, but we're finding that that is clearly going to be the case as we move forward. We're requesting $8,000 to conduct a qualitative research study into the experiences of our participants who have had or currently have hepatitis C to guide our development of best practices and identification of programmatic priorities. This study aims to conduct a second updated version of the IRA board president and DePauw professor of sociology, Alicia Suarez's previous research in 2004 on illness experiences with the hepatitis C virus. The most common bloodborne virus affects 3.5 million Americans and is spread through blood from an infected person. Data from the CDC shows this incident rates have more than doubled from 2013 to 2020. That's a 124% increase. And my people are at the absolute fulcrum of that, being people who generally use injection drugs. That's where we're seeing the largest uptick. This study, 66% of the people with HCV report injection drug use as a probable means of transmission. This study will inform us on how we carry out our priorities. Right now we have a wonderful thing in that we have these two separate people that are both a tester and a liaison to care. Where we lose people mostly is in the cascade of care, getting an appointment, having to come back for an RNA confirmatory. We've alleviated that. That's not the problem. The problem is there's this hesitation to even take the virus, to even take the cure. And we can't figure out why. So this study will allow us to get to the meat of those people who just will not, just don't want to take the virus, don't want to take the direct-acting antivirals. Hopefully we'll be able to curve that, find a way to explain and knock away that stigma that's attached to it and be able to treat more people. And in the end, that's just what we do, And so that's why this study is important, and that's what we're asking for. I'm not going to take up a whole bunch of time making it pretty. It's just literally we want to keep people alive and stop the spread of hepatitis C in our county and in our state. That's it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carrie Albright, Outreach Coordinator and volunteer for Girls Rock Bloomington. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for letting me talk to you today about our program and also for the past support that's allowed us to continue to grow and offer some pretty fantastic programming for some pretty fantastic local youth. So Girls Rock Bloomington's mission is to provide positive mentorship and music education to girls, trans, non-binary, and gender-expansive youth ages 8 to 14. And we do that through our annual summer camp, which wrapped this last Saturday. We have different workshops throughout the year, and we try to make sure that we are empowering them with the opportunity to work with each other, to collaborate, to express themselves creatively, and to just explore what they can do with music. So part of what makes our program successful is our BIPOC and Community Fund, which ensures that any young person who's interested in our program is able to participate in our camps, our workshops, without financial barriers being an issue to that. So this past year, we had about 20% of our participants use that scholarship fund, and a few of them actually use their full tuition for the camp through that scholarship fund. So that's a big part of it. And in the last year, our workshops and our camp have expanded. Our camp was 25% larger this year for camper registration, which, as you can imagine, when we had our final showcase where the youth got together and performed their original songs with their bands, all those friends, families, community members that came to support them were exceeding the capacity of the space that we had. So with all the growth that we're seeing, all the interest we're seeing, and the fantastic results of all of these young people participating, we're growing our program, and with that comes additional resources, additional space needed, and certainly new ways to interact with our community and offer these services. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi there. My name's Hannah Hirsch, and I'm with Girls Inc. of Monroe County, where we are the local experts and longest running girls leadership program and have been in operation since 1974 for nearly 50 years. At Girls Inc., we're on a mission of building the new generation of strong, smart, and bold leaders. We do this with a two-pronged approach of supporting girls in local schools like Summit Hill, Templeton, and Grandview, and by creating a safe pro-girl environment at our center located on West 8th Street. With this multifaceted approach, we recognize and support the strength in every girl. We appreciate our diversity and embrace inclusiveness and advance equity to produce results anchored in integrity and accountability. About a year ago today, I stood at this very podium requesting a Sophia Travis grant that supported our organization's post-pandemic relaunch and resulted in Girls Inc. doubling the numbers of the girls we served from the previous year. Thanks to Sophia Travis's spirit of kindness, thanks to her legacy of strong, smart, and bold impact on this community, Girls Inc. is able to continue to grow and produce outcomes where 90% of Girls Inc. girls say they plan on attending college. 80% believe they have the responsibility to improve their community, and 77% say they're happy with how their body looks. However, we still have our obstacles ahead of us. From the fallout of the pandemic to the pressure our society still applies on our women and girls, poor mental health is on the rise. Girls and young women are at particularly high risk as we see emergency department visits for self-harm are approximately twice the rate of boys. The number of attempted suicides by girls has nearly doubled between 2000 and 2020, and it deeply saddens me to share that death by suicide is the second leading cause of death for people aged 10 to 24. But there is hope, and we have the opportunity to invest in a brighter future for our youth by improving our local social determinants of health for girls at crucial stages in their development. As the experts in girl health, we have identified that girls aged 5 to 10 are at that foundational stage for positive childhood development. We create hope and push back on poor mental health with our positive mentoring and showing girls healthy relationships. By building connectivity amongst peers and the community at large, by identifying and intervening on childhood violence such as abuse and neglect, and by having tough conversations surrounding adverse childhood experiences like bullying. Today, I'm asking for funding to be able to cover the cost of the Girls Inc. experience for our girls aged 5 to 10. With this support, we can continue to serve our increasing numbers with medical, recreational, and educational supplies. Thank you for your consideration.
Good afternoon. My name is Dwayne Cole. I'm the CEO of Beloved Transportation. First off, I just want to thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to present ourselves before you. I've been into transportation for since 2012, and I've been doing my little research about transportation and figuring out what our community needs as far as getting folks to their doctor's appointment, dental appointment, you name it. We have been in operation since 2016. And as you heard, some of the people that came and present themselves, transportation is definitely a need in our community. And the things that we do is we bridge the gap of transportation. We help those that's in need. We help people get to their appointments safe and reliable, and we also help them if they're in wheelchair. So if they're needing wheelchair accessible transportation, we do wheelchair accessible transportation, as well as we have ambulatory vehicles as well. One of the things as far as for our drivers, we're different from the typical transportation in our community. We're different from Uber, we're different from Lyft. We create that personal relationship with our clients. So we're not just picking you up, dropping you off, and getting you where you gotta go. We're picking you up, we're making sure you're getting to your appointment on time. We're making sure that you have a telephone number to call back. We're making sure that we give you a time that we're gonna be back to get you. We're not having you wait around for hours for transportation. We're actually serving our community. The reason why we're in need of funding right now is to try to help people that can't afford transportation. So if it's somebody in our community that's in need of transportation, they might call us and say, hey, we're trying to get to Indianapolis or somewhere like that. Well, if they can't afford an Uber or a Lyft and they can't afford to get to their appointment, then they're stuck not being able to make it to their appointment. So who best to call is somebody that got that personal relationship with you, Beloved Transportation. And so what we want to do is bridge that gap of people that can't afford to get to their doctor's appointment and be able to help get them to
30 seconds remaining.
help get them to their place of need to be able to go to their doctor's appointments and not stress. Because one of the leading areas of a person's health is stress. And so if you have to sit around and worry about how you're gonna make it to your appointments, then it's not good for you at all anyway. So now we take the stress off the hands of knowing that you have a reliable person. We don't accept more transportation than we can handle. So we won't take 10 trips and only have 2 guys and can only do 8 trips and then leave the 2 people wondering, where am I ride? So thank you again, and I appreciate you guys giving us the opportunity.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Camden Hill, and I am the Development Associate for Monroe County United Ministries, also known as MACM. MACM supports community members in breaking the cycle of poverty through assistance with basic and financial needs, self-sufficiency coaching, and affordable, high-quality early learning. The Self-Sufficiency Center, or SSC, at MACM provides the resources for Monroe County households to set long-term goals towards economic mobility and financial independence. However, community members are only able to focus on these long-term goals when their immediate needs have been met. We believe that in order to make progress on the root causes of poverty, we also have to address the material and public health needs of the community. Many families in Monroe County struggle to afford the cleaning and hygiene items essential to public health, such as diapers, wipes, laundry detergent, and dish soap. These items are not covered by SNAP benefits, and much of the community attention goes towards addressing the need for food and shelter. The result is that the essentials for a clean, hygienic, and dignified life are not widely available to families struggling to afford them. That's where MACM comes in. To meet these needs, the SSC offers low-barrier, walk-in assistance with a wide variety of essentials, including food, personal hygiene items, cleaning products, diapers, pull-ups, baby wipes, and menstrual products. These services are in high demand. In 2022, the SSC provided cleaning and hygiene items to over 1,200 households and diapers and wipes to nearly 500 families. These numbers represent a 19% increase from pre-pandemic years. Since 2020, the SSC has seen growing demand for these essentials from Monroe County residents as inflation and the rising cost of living deplete their budgets. At first, this increase was balanced by emergency government assistance and pandemic-induced giving, but now government assistance has ended and in-kind donations have leveled off as the sense of urgency has faded. Now, the gap between our supply of items and community demand for services is greater than ever. To meet the community need for these services and to improve public health, MACM is requesting $8,465 to purchase a year's worth of diapers, wipes, laundry detergent, and dish soap to directly benefit over 1,600 Monroe County families. By funding this program, the Sophia Travis Community Service Grant Program will ensure our county's children and adults are healthy and clean. According to a 2016 study by the University of Connecticut, children whose families receive diaper through a diaper bank experience 33% less diaper rash. And with 31% of the households we serve headed by single mothers, supplying the SSC with laundry detergent and dish soap supports Monroe County mothers in maintaining hygienic households and livable home environments for their children. It's not enough to just have food and shelter. Our community requires the means to live healthy and prosperous lives, and that starts with a clean and safe environment. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sherry Fickner, president of the board presenting Grace Center. On behalf of Grace Center, we would want to say thank you to the Monroe County Council for your time. Grace Center received 501c3 status in March 2006. In September 2006, Grace Center Food Pantry began serving the area of Clear Creek, Indian Creek, and Polk Townships of southern Monroe County. Our pantry is in Harrodsburg. We work from a small space, serving about 30 to 40 households every week. Grace Center is committed to providing nutritious food to clients. The rural area of the county faces some of the same issues as other larger communities like Bloomington and Bedford. Our neighbors in this area fight food insecurity each week and often have fewer nearby resources available. Grace Center has become a reliable resource to help meet those needs. Food availability at our pantry is accomplished by both monetary and food donations. These donations come from local churches, clubs, organizations, and individuals, and through fundraising events and grant funds, such as the Sophia Travis Community Service Grant. Our goal is to provide food that is considered nutritious. Years ago, our first board members made a commitment to provide milk, eggs, and bread to every client on a weekly basis, and we continue this commitment as well as providing meat and protein, dry and canned goods, and fresh produce. When possible, we try to provide some client choice with food and non-food items. This is done mostly with fresh produce, milk, and meat when there's a variety available. Since our clients will more likely eat the food they choose, we think it's a more common sense approach and a more dignified way for them to receive food. During COVID-19, our volunteers adjusted operations to meet safety guidelines for everyone. We began delivering food directly to our clients at their vehicles. When it was considered safe for clients to return to coming back inside the pantry, we did a client survey to see what they wanted, what their preference was, and the majority wished to continue the convenience of delivery to their vehicles. Because our pantry is in a small space and most of our clients like the delivery convenience, our board decided to continue operating this way. Grace Center's mission is not just to provide food, but to also encourage social interaction. During open hours, clients are individually greeted and assisted by our dedicated volunteers, and they also have an opportunity to interact with each other. And when clients are elderly or isolated from their neighbors, this becomes even more important.
30 seconds remaining.
On any given Thursday, it's common to see conversations happening in the parking lot. You know, client to volunteer. Grace Center will continue to do its best to support the southern Monroe County community through our pantry with its volunteers who do truly wish to make a difference in their community. We submit this application with the monetary request of $5,000 for assistance from the council to help with the cost of food purchases for 2024. And we just sincerely thank you for your time.
Good evening, and thank you so much for having us here today. This year is the 30th anniversary of the Lotus Festival, and while most people probably associate that with the revelry that occurs downtown and the ticketed events that happen at night, we balance out every single hour of ticketed entertainment with something that is free to the public. So the funds that we have applied for the Sophia Travis Award this year will go toward Lotus in the Park, which will occur this year at the Waldron Hill Buskirk Park, Saturday the 30th of September from 12 p.m. to 5. There'll be a variety of music performances from global artists throughout the afternoon, and these are the same artists that will perform in the evening throughout the festival as well. All of those performances will be at the Allison Jukebox Pavilion. We'll also have workshops and guest lectures under a tent within what we're calling Artist Camp, which is where we'll have arts and crafts opportunities for families and anyone who would like to take part in that. All of that is free to the public. In 2022, we had 1,130 attendees, and we expect that number to increase by upwards of 10% this year. The Artist Camp at Lotus in the Park will have 8 different unique hands-on activities. This will include community partners from within IU as well as other nonprofit organizations, some of which might even be in this room. Last year we had 470 participants just for the free community activities within the Artist Camp, and in this year we're expecting somewhere in the neighborhood of 600. This year we have a local artist that we're featuring within the free arts and craft program, which is Michelle Solarzano. Michelle is going to be doing mask making workshops, which are going to celebrate the style of Carnival from Dominican Republic, which she is from. The workshops will be worked through before the festival via the 4th Street Arts Festival, as well as the September edition of IU's First Thursday Arts Walk, and all those events will also be free. Above and beyond the daytime activities on Friday and Saturday night of the festival, we'll also have what's called the local stage on 4th Street, and there will be free entertainment there as well from
30 seconds remaining.
6 to 11 p.m. All of this is going to be available to the public. It's all downtown and conveniently located near public transportation and walkable from one another. So thank you very much and have a good day.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
We can. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My name is Jessica Marchbank. I am a state programs director with All Options. We, first of all, just thank you for letting me present remotely. Wednesday is the day that we distribute diapers to local families each week, and we're a really tiny staff, so it's pretty much all hands on deck. We've already seen 50 families today to distribute diapers and other supplies. We, All Options Pregnancy Resource Center, is a secular, client-centered organization. We're proud to offer judgment-free and compassionate support for our local community, including free pregnancy tests, peer counseling, diapers, period supplies, and referrals to community partners, many of whom are in this room tonight, all under one roof. Our Hoosier Diaper program strives to meet the overwhelming, often overlooked need for diapers and parenting supplies for local families of infants and toddlers who are struggling to make ends meet. Just since January 1st of this year, we have distributed a monthly supply of diapers to over 200 families each month, an average of 320 children per month. And this adds up to, we have distributed over 140,000 diapers since January 1st, 2,000 packs of wet wipes, 1,000 period supply packs, 250 pregnancy tests, and 250 COVID tests. We've been doing this since 2015, and I've personally been deeply involved since 2017. And so just since my time here, we have provided well over 2 million diapers and other essential supplies to local families. Since, as mentioned before, diapers aren't covered through other social safety net programs, families really struggle to afford them. When families are experiencing diaper need, there are dire economic and health-related consequences. Diaper need and poverty are a vicious cycle. Where there's one, there's the other for many parents and children here. Here are some specific points from a recent study on diaper need that found that 1 in 2 American families is struggling to provide enough diapers for their little ones. Babies' overall health improves when families receive diapers. Clean diapers help prevent medical expenses. Providing diapers to families eliminated $4.3 million in medical costs
30
due to
seconds
reductions in both incidences and days of diaper rash. Without diapers, parents miss work. More than 56% of parents using childcare to go to work have missed work because of an inadequate supply of diapers. Every dollar counts, and the need is desperate, and it's overwhelming, and it's unacceptable. We very much appreciate past support, and this year we're going to need it more than ever to sustain the dramatic increase in need that we are seeing, just as every other agency is seeing it too. So thank you so much for your consideration. We believe that access to diapers and parenting supplies is a human right, just like food. Thank you for your consideration of our request.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm Jennifer Quick Cook. I'm the CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Indiana. And I just wanted to point out we have been doing mentoring services through the nation for over 120 years. I'm just providing and creating those relationships. Here in Monroe County, we're celebrating 50 years of doing that as an agency, so we're excited about that. And one of the things we're doing as a nation is we've decided to supplement our one-to-one mentoring. And with that, we're bringing a new program called One-to-One Plus, which is an opportunity for us to continue to serve and mentor our current matches, but also allow us an opportunity to bring in some of our over 142 waitlist kiddos that need that mentoring support. But one thing we learned is over the pandemic, our mentors need that support as well. So we were talking to our mentors about supporting themselves and their youth. So this opportunity provides us an example of mentors being able to support and share their life experiences with one another, in addition to youth. So there may be a mentor that can help in another setting for a different youth in our group setting. This doesn't change the heart of our program. We're still going to be doing the same background checks, the same screenings, the same support. We call them monthly just to check in. But this provides us more of a in-person situation and a performance to where we can see them all come together and really work together in a community, which will also allow us the opportunity to bring in those group settings, to have other community partners to come in and also help support doing different, we've heard from many organizations today that we'd love to partner with further to just bring them into that group mentoring setting to be able to provide that service. One of the things that we also want to talk about is our family resources and what we're doing for our families of our littles. So we are supporting our bigs, which are our volunteers. We support our littles, which are our youth. But we're really not doing a whole lot to support the families and bringing in that community resource guide. So this is an opportunity to allow us to even reach out to those families. We've been calculating, and we usually count per match. How many matches do we have a year? But we started last year looking at how many people we've talked to, how many lives have been impacted. And last year we were close to 1,000 kids and families and bigs and littles that we were able to just talk to in Monroe County. So with this opportunity, with this one-to-one plus mentoring group opportunity, will allow us to do that even at a greater scale. And this is something that we've piloted across the nation. So this isn't a new program for us just to start here. We're learning from other Big Brothers Big Sisters agencies that have already done this program and its success. And so we will be able to have those
30 seconds remaining.
Those resources as well to be able to learn from them and grow from their experience as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Carrie McKaylee. I'm the Executive Director of Bloomington Meals on Wheels. We are celebrating our 50th anniversary serving Bloomington this year with our traditional Meals on Wheels program, which delivers 2 medically tailored meals to homebound residents of Bloomington who cannot prepare a nutritious meal due to chronic illness, severe injury, severe disability, or advanced age. We are here respectfully requesting funds this evening to provide meal kits to clients of our Groceries to Go program. Launched in 2021 with support from a Sophia Travis Community Service grant, thank you very much. Groceries to Go is a mobile food pantry serving residents of Bloomington who are unable to access another food pantry due to health issues or lack of transportation. Recipients may place 1 order per week, either online or phone. Items are selected by the recipients. Volunteers pack the orders and deliver them. Groceries to Go currently serves 25 to 50 households per week. You've already heard from some organizations, and I'm sure we'll hear from more, how strained food supply is at the moment and how challenging it is to get nutritious food. Our request is for meal kits that will be packaged with all the ingredients that a family needs to prepare a nutritious meal for themselves, including a recipe and including fresh meat, oils, condiments, things that are frequently not available through local food pantries or hard to get. The kits with the recipes can act as a blueprint for the groceries to go clients to help them prepare healthy meals on their own when they have those ingredients in the future. Meal kits will be available for 2-person or 4-person household sizes, and recipients will be able to order the kits through our regular ordering process, both online and over the phone. A different menu kit will be available each week, and some kits may repeat over the 10-week time frame of this project. This grant would support 450 meal kits to provide up to 2,100 meals over 10 weeks. The majority of the funding will be used strictly to purchase food, including the meats, oils, and seasonings.
30 seconds remaining.
Foods will be purchased in bulk through local sources, and some kits may be supplemented with donated items. This is the first time we're offering this through our Groceries to Go program. And like Groceries to Go, which we launched as a pilot program, we're viewing this as a pilot program, and if successful, we will approach other funding sources to continue the program on an ongoing basis. Thank you very much for your consideration.
I don't see them online, but do we have anybody here from Alexandra's Army that will be presenting? Going once. Going twice. All right. Moving along. Community Justice and Mediation Center.
Wondered what everyone was doing every time they came up here. They were writing on something. I thought, oh, what do I have to write? Hi, I'm Liz Granette. I'm the Executive Director of Community Justice and Mediation Center. Apologize for the sunglasses. I went to the eye doctor this afternoon and my eyes are, I can barely see you all. Thank you so much for this opportunity to present and for the support that you're giving to all of us in our community. Our mission at CJAM is to promote a civil and just community through mediation, education, and restorative justice. We envision a fair community that learns from conflict, prevents harm, and grows in understanding. From January through June of this year, our staff and more importantly, our volunteer mediators have provided conflict resolution services to over 490 individuals, and that actually reflects a 30% increase from this same time last year. In addition, we provide facilitation services, conflict resolution training, and we are also active members of the Eviction Prevention Collaborative, which is part of the reason we have such an increase. Evictions are up by almost 50% so far this year here in Monroe County. We're requesting $3,045 to support our programming. We're asking for $2,500 to provide scholarships and stipends to support the costs of our 40-hour mediation training. These scholarships are crucial to building a more robust and diverse mediator roster. And this is really important. We have a short window of time when we're meeting with people that are in conflict to create the right kind of space, to build trust, and make them feel comfortable and heard. And the more we can be representative in terms of our mediators looking like and having experiences more like our clients that we're serving, better outcomes from the mediation, higher satisfaction, and improved services. Also asking for program dollars to support printing our STEP workbook, which is used to supplement our programming for our shoplifting and theft prevention program, and $345 for marketing materials and outreach to promote our services, let people know what's happening, or that we exist and what we do, and also to recruit.
Remaining.
I would like to put in a plug. We have our next 40-hour training that starts on September 7th. We are would welcome anyone who wants to participate, and it's it's a great organization. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Hello everyone, my name is Adam Hamill. I am the Director of Community Engagement at Stonebelt. Stonebelt is a nonprofit organization that provides education and support to individuals with developmental disabilities. It is our mission, in partnership with the community, to prepare, empower, and support individuals with developmental disabilities and their families to fully participate in the life of the community. Our core services are provided to individuals with developmental disabilities such as cognitive and intellectual challenges, autism, and cerebral palsy. We are requesting a $5,000 grant from the Sophia Travis Grants Committee to further professionalize our Hand in Hand project. This project began as a way for one family to help their son, Jonathan, who you can see on the bottom right-hand corner there, find meaningful volunteer work for himself and give back to the community. Jonathan had some significant difficulty finding employment due to his attention span. He was also unable to find regular volunteer work for the same reason. This program began in 2006 when Jonathan began picking up canned food from his neighbors' homes on his own time with significant prompting. The Hand in Hand program has since grown and is now one of the most significant single contributors to the community kitchen, contributing about 5% of the total food donations of over 8,000 pounds over the past year. Early in 2023, Stonebelt began our first hand-in-hand drive on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Kroger stores allowed Stonebelt clients to solicit food donations from shoppers to support the community kitchen's mission to eliminate hunger in Monroe County. On that day, the Hand-in-Hand program raised over 4,000 pounds of food, doubling what the clients in Stonebelt's Employment Fundamentals program have been able to contribute over the entire year. We would like to continue professionalizing this experience for Stonebelt clients by purchasing branded barrels, t-shirts, and signage through Sophia Travis grant funding. The Hand in Hand project has enabled our community to provide individuals with developmental disabilities with an opportunity to have meaningful daily volunteer service work while providing the community with an easy and practical way to regularly contribute non-perishable items to help those in need. Participating households are then tied to the more significant needs of those who experience hunger in our community. While this program is self-sustaining, we are requesting funding to purchase food drive equipment so that the program continues to expand for both regular donations and special drives. You'll also hear about another program from Mother Hubbard's Cupboard that we are working on with our pre-employment transitions clients. While these are separate programs, both are incredibly meaningful experiences for those we support. I appreciate your consideration of this and all of the other programs here today. Thank you so much.
Hello, I am Katie Sensible with the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce and its foundation. The Chamber and its foundation aim to promote the continuous improvement of the common good and the quality of life in the community through the pursuit of new business, the cultural, social, and economic education of our citizens, and by providing accurate and timely assistance to the business community. The Chamber's foundation is respectfully seeking funds to aid in a youth enrichment opportunity called the Career Cruise. The Success School, a division of the Chamber's foundation, will manage this program. The Success School, which acts as the connection between the business and the education communities, strives to provide real-world learning opportunities for area K through 12 students, increasing academic engagement and exciting young people about future careers in the hopes to shape tomorrow's workforce in Monroe County. The Success School partners with MCCSC and RBB schools and provides programming in elementary, middle, and high schools on the following topics: job skills, entrepreneurship, soft skills, career exploration, and financial literacy. This inaugural career cruise will guide 7th graders from all MCCSC middle schools to future career paths. Students will take a field trip to a central location and attend a career exploration fair providing an informative, interactive, educational, and fun day surrounding the topic of careers. The Career Cruise is designed for students to feel as if they are vacationing on a cruise ship. Think sunglasses, leis, maybe an inflatable palm tree or two, hoping to make it a really fun experience and engaging. As students embark on the cruise, they'll rotate through the venue and visit 3 different ports of call, each with exhibitor booths featuring area businesses and organizations. At each booth, students will participate in a hands-on activity designed to introduce them to that career path. The Career Cruise is part of an ongoing initiative to introduce students to local businesses, especially, with the idea that the 7th graders get an idea of what kind of jobs are available to them after graduation, from high school or even after college, especially if they choose to stay local and live here in Monroe County. This event will be organized by career clusters, giving students time to explore each port, talk to the people in those industries, and see what kind of opportunities are available within that career. By the end of the cruise, students will have gained knowledge from over 50 businesses and organizations, and hopefully a good understanding of the education requirements and skills necessary to be successful in that career. The grant money will be used to offset venue costs, as well as some of that cruise-themed decor, and definitely drawstring bags for the students to carry the items, promotional items that the exhibitors may give them, and any informational sheets. The Chamber is so appreciative of the Sophia Travis Community Service Grants Program and all it does for our community. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Hi, my name is Marilyn Grimes, and I'm the Executive Director of Courage to Change Sober Living, which is transitional housing for men and women. We currently have 4 houses and hold 26 clients. We are certified by the Indiana National Association of Recovery Residences, and we are a level 2 sober living facility, which means that we need case managers to oversee our houses. They are not peer ran, but they are peer supported. We do also let our members help. There's a lack of transitional housing for those suffering from substance misuse disorders in Monroe County, and in particular for those coming out of jail and prison. 95% of our clients come out of jail or prison, 5% come from treatment. We always have a waiting list, and right now, within the last 3 months, we have gotten 67 applications online and 52 applications from jails, local jails, and prisons. Needless to say, we cannot house near all the people. With that in mind, we are opening a new men's residence, which will house 10 men. Traditionally, we get more men's applications than we do women. So that's why we have went to opening another location for men. And it will hold 10 men, and our residents sign a contract for 3 months, but they are allowed to stay up for a year to get on their feet. It's just the constant do-over, learning the same things over and over again, and a year gives them the time to really get on their feet and get stable. And we will need a new case manager for the new residents because we already have a men's and a women's, and we don't want them to hold more than 10 clients to the max of 14 at a time. So, because, we can't overload them. And we only pay 25 hours a week to our case managers. So we need the salaries for another case manager, and that's what we are asking for. Thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it. Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Chloe Timmons, and I am the grants manager at Middle Way House here in Bloomington. Since 1971, Middle Way House has been providing services to people in crisis. Today, we provide supportive and empowering services for survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. We also provide education and outreach programs through our prevention team. An essential element of our programming, though, is our child and our youth programs. Middle Way House owns and operates the Rise and Shine Early Childhood Education Program, which is a licensed child care program that serves families who are currently living or have previously lived at our emergency shelter or a transitional housing facility. This program is at low or no cost to the parents whose children are coming into our program, and it provides the youngest residents of Middle Way House with experiences that foster their physical, linguistic, cognitive, and social emotional development. In collaboration with our prevention team, Rise and Shine staff endeavor to break the cycle of violence by providing a safe and stable and nurturing environment for the children who have experienced abuse in their households, and they also promote healthy relationships between other children within Rise and Shine, teachers within Rise and Shine, and within their families at home. Rise and Shine serves upwards of 20 children a month. This really depends on staffing, what our licensure requires us to meet, and it also depends on the number of children who are currently living within our programming, and it can often fluctuate as parents move in or move out of our programming. The child care program is located within the historical Coca-Cola building off of Washington Street, and it's across from our New Wings administrative buildings. Between the building is a courtyard that we've built for outdoor play that has a play set, different little games for them. Because the building is located within a historical building, we have to follow historical architectural standards, which means that our window panes within the child care program are very, very thin. And so we are seeking funding to increase safety at Rise and Shine by installing 4 polycarbonate window shields within our play areas. We've recently had 2 incidents of windows being broken in our outdoor play area. Rise and Shine faces unique challenges in behavioral responses of children because the children we serve are coming from families who have experienced domestic violence and have therefore had adverse childhood experiences. Our staff works diligently to respond to these situations and to increase their quality of care in order to better meet the needs of children. We board the windows as quickly as possible and remove any glass, but these window shields would protect the thin windows of the building to prevent breakage, improving the children served through Rise and Shine while maintaining the preservation of our building. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Michael Stribling. I'm the Clinical Director of Catholic Charities Bloomington Counseling Services here in Bloomington. Happy to be celebrating our 40th anniversary here serving the community of Bloomington in our offices closely connected to the Ferguson-Crestmont Boys and Girls Club in Crestmont neighborhood. Thank you so much for your time this evening and for all of your past support. You couldn't have done what we've done in the past without you and the Monroe County Council and the Sophia Travis Committee, so thank you so much. So who are we? We are an outpatient, nonprofit mental health clinic charity serving everyone across any potential human characteristic. We focus mainly on serving folks in marginalized communities or situations. So those experiencing poverty, things like that, that make access to quality mental health care a challenge. And that is our mission, is to provide the highest quality trauma-informed clinical counseling to those who need it the most. We serve everyone from age 2 up into the transition areas of life using trauma-informed techniques like TheraPlay, play therapy, EMDR therapy, which is a trauma-informed technique, as well as just your standard talk therapy, where people come in, establish a safe, trusting relationship with the therapist, and then express the difficulties they're experiencing, and then work together to help them heal themselves. So we were really blessed to be in this community, being able to offer this service. Okay, What we've noticed is, obviously, the pandemic happened. We all bounced home, and we all bounced back. So fortunately, telehealth is still a thing in the mental health industry. So 75% of our clients still utilize telehealth. Our client base is 75% Medicaid, and we also offer a sliding fee scale and a pay-what-you-can scale. So we are serving mostly folks in poverty, utilizing telehealth as a convenience factor for them to save money. They don't have to miss work, miss jobs. But after the pandemic, obviously there's complex trauma cases, serving children as young as 2 in one of our 3 dedicated play therapy spaces on site. Having people back in the office is a really good thing. Telehealth is a really good thing, but meeting face-to-face with a child and their families or adults is a good thing too. So we're recognizing the need as an agency to be able to respond to any kind of physical health emergency or a mental health emergency that may occur. So we are asking for funds to support our emergency preparedness plan for clients and staff to purchase an AED
30 seconds
defibrillator,
remaining.
to provide CPR and AED training for our staff, as well as install a panic button system in case there is a mental health crisis or a physical health crisis, to have access to the services to come to our office as soon as we can. So once again, thank you so much for your time. You all have been such a great support to us in the past, and we appreciate your consideration.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm Julio Alonso, Executive Director of Hoosier Hills Food Bank. As you may or may not know, we distribute over 5.5 million pounds of food each year, half of that right here in Monroe County, supporting about 40 partner agencies and through our own direct service programs. Since the start of the pandemic, we've had to rely much more heavily on purchased food to supplement our food rescue and food donation programs. The truth is that food donations simply haven't kept up with the unprecedented level of need that we've seen. We had hoped that would subside along with the pandemic, but in fact, in the past year, we've actually seen pandemic-level client counts at our partner agencies and at our own programs. I think anyone who's been to the grocery store recently understands why. Inflation has taken a harsh toll on people with low incomes and on fixed incomes, particularly senior citizens. We've seen a lot more seniors coming through our programs because they simply haven't had the funds to respond to these increased costs for basic necessities. Our request is for food purchasing funds. We've averaged about $800,000 a year in food purchasing costs for the past 3 years, and we've already spent over $500,000 this year. And food costs have increased for us just as they have for the people that we serve. In our May survey, over half of our partner agencies said that their numbers were still increasing and that they were not receiving enough food from us. Ironically, during COVID, we had more support than we've ever had before, and we were able to provide 100% of our agencies with the food that they need. And people had the support of other government programs to help them through. All of that is gone now, but unfortunately the need isn't. So that's what we're trying to continue to address. The funds we're requesting from you, honestly, are only a fraction of what we need, but they're still very important because without the big grants we used to be getting during COVID, it's back to piecing together as much as we can from every source that we can, and every dollar gets us closer to the purchasing ability to meet that need. We appreciate the difficult choices you have to make. Lots of great programs here, lots of partners that we work with. So good luck with that, and thank you very much for your consideration.
Good evening. My name is Leslie Absher. I'm with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Bloomington. I'm the development director there. Jeff Baldwin, our executive director, says his hellos. He's in Wisconsin on vacation, so he's sorry he can't be here, but I'm happy to be here with you tonight. Our request to the Sophia Travis Fund is $10,000 to support funding that will purchase safety film for our buildings. So let me talk to you a little bit about why we have this need. So we recently had an assessment. The police department comes through and regularly assesses the safety of our buildings. We have 2 full facilities that house over 200 kids every single day, and so safety is our #1 priority. And the police department identified that this would be the #1 way to improve the safety of our building from outside intruders, and it would be cost effective as well. So ideally, we'd be able to put in bulletproof glass in every one of our facilities, but that is just, it's cost prohibitive, right? So this 3M safety film really slows down intruders. So we've seen that if gunshots are shot into the film, it doesn't actually shatter and fall away, it just cracks, and they still have to push and fight to penetrate into the building, which gives those valuable seconds to our staff and emergency responders to get there in the case of a crisis. So this is really important to us. You know, I'm a parent, and one of the things I take very seriously is protecting my children, and we take that very seriously at the Boys and Girls Club when parents entrust us with those valuable members of their families, and often vulnerable members of their families. We're prioritizing the Ferguson-Crestmont Club simply because of the neighborhood that it's in. The rate of gun violence in the Crestmont community as opposed to the rest of Monroe County is much higher. And so the likelihood of that happening there, even accidentally, is higher. So that's our first priority that you've seen in our application. But obviously, all kids are a priority and safety is a priority at all of our buildings. So we own the Ferguson-Crestmont building and the Lincoln Street Club, and so we'd like to do this at both buildings, which is what the request is for. We really believe that in this time, especially coming out of the pandemic, mental and physical and emotional security is something that's so important to a child. And we're actually seeing a lot of studies about that impacting the mental health of kids. We work closely with Catholic Charities, who you heard from in therapy. They're seeing over and over again that when kids feel safe, they thrive, they do better in school, they engage in less risky behaviors, and that it matters emotionally and mentally, but it also matters that they feel physically safe. And the Boys and Girls Club is maybe the only place that some of our kids feel safe, and so we take that also, again, very seriously. And so we really appreciate this. It's a costly project, so we're requesting a significant portion from you all, which we really appreciate, and we'll use this funding to get other people to match, right? We want to show that our community is for this and supporting the safety of Boys and Girls Clubs, and then we know that other funders will respect that and provide other dollars as they see people anteing in and helping us to do this work. So we really appreciate what it is that you're doing. You're really impacting the lives of hundreds of kids a day when you support Boys and Girls Clubs. And again, thank you for the time tonight. I know it's a long evening, and we appreciate you listening and hearing our request. Thanks.
So are we supposed to sign where our number is? Because I'm number 20.
No, you're just supposed to sign it.
Just sign?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Scott Auber. I'm president of the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, and we're an all-volunteer agency, actually an organization here in Bloomington. We've been here since 1993, so this is about our 30th year. We help in lots of ways. We provide financial aid, but the reason I'm here is for our furniture program. We collect donated furniture during the week, and then we distribute it on Saturdays. And the Sophia Travis grant has helped us many years. We didn't apply last year because while we always had need, we didn't feel we had a desperate need. But this year we have a desperate need. For some reason, Bloomington has been very good about getting housing for those that need it, but they don't always get them furniture or beds. And we have a lot of families in chaos that when they get an apartment, they don't have beds and they don't have dressers for their kids. We've been donated a lot of beds, but we don't have frames. So we're asking for a grant of $8,300 to buy 100 frames and 100 plastic dressers for kids. This helps. The bed frames not only help protect the mattress, but they also give families a place to store their clothes and other things like that. But we really feel we need this, and any help you could give us would really be appreciated. So thanks.
Good evening. My name is Jim Olson. I'm the Development Director for New Hope for Families, which is a social service agency serving children and families impacted by homelessness. We provide emergency shelter, high-quality childcare and early learning services, and other supportive programs that help families that are in dire straits. I bring you greetings from our Executive Director and much thanks from our board for your past support of our programs. The project that we're requesting support from this year is a continuation of last year's program, and I want to say a few words about why we decided to do that. The project to support application fees for our clients in shelter has been so impactful that we felt that that was the most important way that we could apply funds from Sophia Travis grant this year as well. This year, the application is asking for support for application fees, transportation support, and food support. I want to say a word about the application fees because that's the biggest portion of the grant. As you know, due to the challenges of our local housing market, our clients in shelter need to apply more than once in order to find a lease in their name that they can afford. Often they need to apply 5 or as many as 10 or more times to apartments in order to find one that will accept them in order to be able to move out of shelter and into a stable housing situation. And as an example, December 23rd of this past year, it was a pretty cold day and it was late in the afternoon, right before a holiday recess. We received a call, which often happens at awkward times, from a family with a mother and father and 2 young children, and they were at imminent risk of becoming homeless. Sometimes families don't contact us until the situation is pretty dire and they were about to be evicted because they couldn't afford to pay some of the back rent. With Sophia Travis money, we reached out to a local faith community and found a match for the dollars and went back to the family who took the matched funds to their landlord and were able to stay in housing and make an arrangement to be able to stay in that apartment a little bit longer after they had
30 seconds
the
remaining.
landlord had indicated they would need to leave, long enough for them to be able to get the additional money that they needed to stay in housing. So this both prevented them from becoming homeless as well as to prevent the mother from losing her job. So this was an example of a way that these funds were used strategically to be able to prevent a family from becoming homeless and avert a much larger crisis. We are grateful for the opportunity to ask for a continuation of this project, and we thank you for your consideration. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Amy Cornell, and I'm with the Ready for a Change Foundation and Young Women Ready for a Change. we are asking for money from the Sophia Travis Grant to help us subsidize our youth programming. We have two classifications. We serve girls 4th through 7th grade, and we serve teenagers 8th through 12th grade. And during the pandemic, our teen programs kind of fell by the wayside. So we are interested in starting our teen programming again in the form of summer camps, hike and writes, and teen writing space. Real quickly, our mission for the Young Women's programs is to foster healthy writing communities where the words of girls, teens, and young adults from all walks of life are nurtured and celebrated. And we believe that allowing girls to write and tell their story is empowering. And I have Mary Beth with me, who's going to share some of those words.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth O'Brien, and I'm the creative director for Women Writing for a Change, which is sort of the public face of the Writing for a Change Foundation here in Bloomington. As Amy said, we have a thriving youth program, and we would love to be able to reach more teens especially. A couple of the things that we've found that our programs do for teens are to enhance their self-esteem, build skills in creative self-expression, help them understand the power of deep listening to one another, to asking for the feedback that you want, and to sharing your words and ideas with others. So I have the joy of bringing some of those voices in the form of some of our soul cards. Our soul cards are something we do after every writing circle. It's a little 3x5 card, and we ask each participant to list the gifts and challenges of their time in that circle. So here are a couple of these for your listening pleasure. So this is from our summer camp. The gift was getting to share my writing and getting feedback. The challenge was a writer's block. I can relate. The gift today was getting to meet those of whom I didn't know and getting inspiration for my book. This is from a summer camper. Gift, sharing my writing, challenges none. Gift, lots of nature and animals, hearing varying writing with similar themes. And the challenges for that writer was learning all the names of the other campers. We held a wonderful series of writing circles at the Academy High School, and we hope to do more. And here are a couple of their voices. Being able to write your feelings down feels really good, and not having to worry about being judged. The positive and calming energy in this space is a gift. I absolutely love this group so much. I was wondering if you have circles outside of school as well. And finally, this is one of my favorite soul cards from a Marlin Elementary student. Nothing that stinks about this, but overall, I loved it. Thank you so much for your support in the past, for your support of everyone in the community, and thanks for your consideration this year.
Thank you. We actually are going to do a little change up to the sign-in sheet. So those that are waiting for the speaker, if you can go ahead and, as you're waiting there, as the presenter in front of you is presenting, go ahead and sign in, just to kind of help smooth the process a little bit easier.
Hello, my name is Erica Wheeler, and I am the Director of Development for Mother Hubbard's Cupboard, often known as the Hub. I'd like to start by thanking the Monroe County Council for the longtime support and for the opportunity to speak with you a little bit about our request for funding. But first, some information about the Hub. The Hub is a community food resource center that increases access to healthy food in ways that cultivate dignity, agency, and community. And though we at the Hub know that access to healthy food is a basic human right, the reality is that at least 12% of our neighbors here in Monroe County do not have reliable access to the food they need. For those 17,000 folks, the Hub is an essential resource. Since January of this year, our low-barrier client choice food pantry has been accessed an average of 9,800 times each month, a 57% increase from the same time frame last year. Why such a drastic increase? Our patrons will tell you. Unemployment and underemployment, lingering effects from COVID, the high cost of housing, healthcare, childcare, and food, low wages, unforeseen emergency expenses, just to name a few reasons that the folks share. Our patrons will also tell you that the Hub, in ways large and small, has helped them through such hardships. Some comments from last year's patron survey. Thank you so much. This program saved my family during financial hardship. The Hub is my lifeline. I appreciate you more than I can express. I am a case manager and come about once a week. This is vital for my clients. The Hub is a great way to get nutritious food and gluten-free items for my celiac child. And if the Hub was not open, as a mom, I would go without so my kids would eat. This patron was one of 37% of respondents that said that they would skip meals if the Hub was not open. 47% said they'd eat less nutritious food. 24% would skip or delay paying bills. The Hub exists so our neighbors in need are less burdened and do not have to make these impossible decisions. As you know from our application, the Hub has requested $11,086 in pantry support. Funding will directly support increased access to healthy food for our community in 3 ways. 1, paying a portion of our 2023 Hoosier Hills Food Bank shared maintenance charge, which gives us access to hundreds of thousands of pounds of food every year. 2, providing bus passes for patrons to reduce the barrier of transportation that many of our patrons face. And 3, as Adam mentioned earlier, initiating a long-term, meaningful partnership with Stonebelt that will provide their pre-employment transition services students with an opportunity to build valuable employment skills while providing much-needed support for our pantry.
30 seconds
Funds
remaining.
will be used to source food for the pantry, including highly requested items like healthy kid snacks, culturally appropriate foods, and foods for folks with dietary restrictions, which the pre-employment transition services team will help us distribute to pantry patrons. Thank you for your time, consideration, and for the long-time support.
Good evening. My name is Chris Herring. I serve as the Executive Director for People and Animal Learning Services. We're a therapeutic writing center here in Bloomington, Indiana. We've been here for 23 years now. We provide equine-assisted services to people with disabilities and special programming for a variety of targeted populations. These include veterans, senior citizens, and addiction recovery. We also provide equine-assisted counseling. We pair with mental health care providers. But one of our most impactful programs has been the Equipped program. This unique program helps youth in at-risk situations by engaging in an equine-assisted learning curriculum. Engagement in Equipped can act as one tool to help young people develop social, emotional skills, reduce feelings of anxiety, depression, and increase feelings of calmness, relaxation, and most importantly from our research, the #1 feedback, feeling more loved. Our funding request for $9,250 will go specifically to support programming for the Youth Services Bureau of Monroe County. Since 2018, PALS has provided countless opportunities to residents of the Binkley House Emergency Shelter. Residents are at-risk youth, often in crisis. Equip programming offers the residents the opportunity to model and enforce positive and healthy attachments by connecting with horses. These kiddos often develop a special bond with a specific horse during a time that can be extremely stressful and emotionally traumatic. The positive experiences are evident as youth are enthusiastic to return and continue interacting with horses. Many have pictures taken with their favorite horse, and they keep them in their room while at the facility. This funding, along with a grant from Duke Energy Foundation, will provide 1 year of support for this very impactful program and support these amazing youth. Thank you very much.
Hello. I'll wait until I get the timer reset. Hi, my name is Jessie Yeary. I'm here as a representative of South Central Community Action Program, which you might know as your local CAP organization, or SCAP, which I like to call it. I'm here representing our Thriving Connections initiative, which is also known as TC. So I'm going to use those acronyms because I only have a couple minutes of your time. If you don't know about us, we provide opportunities for the low-income individuals and families in Monroe County to achieve personal and economic stability. We do that through a variety of different programs. A lot of them are federally funded, like Head Start, energy assistance, weatherization, and housing choice vouchers. But one that is not federally funded, which is one that we created because we saw a gap in our community, is Thriving Connections. Thriving Connections is a community of support for families living without enough resources. The participants, who are also called captains, and their children are matched with volunteer allies and benefit from one-on-one coaching as they work toward goals in education, employment, and personal growth. Everyone works together to understand and break the cycle of poverty and trauma that families face, and to share their experiences with the wider community. As a part of that work, there's a lot of reciprocity that is expected of our participants. Right now, that includes participating in TC Guiding Coalition advisory groups, the Head Start Council of Involved Families, the Bloomington Housing Authority Board, City of Bloomington's Women's Commission, and one of our captains is an elected Bloomington Democratic Party precinct chair. That's just some of the work they do. But today, why I'm here talking to you and requesting funds is for the Thriving Connections Barrier Reduction Fund. This fund is a key component to ensuring that our participants and staff are addressing financial challenges in an equitable, efficient, and effective manner. The policies for accessing these funds is managed by the Guiding Coalition advisory groups, which is made up of staff, volunteers, community partners, and captains. It's designed so captains have opportunities to work with their coaches to anticipate barriers, plan for them, and then whenever an emergency arises, they have a starting point to work through the process of applying for assistance. Emergencies are always emotionally difficult for our families to work through, but with a coach and a volunteer support that we've already identified and we have the commitment for, and possibly that financial assistance that we're hoping to get from you, the fallout from the emergencies can be lessened and less burden can be placed on outside organizations.
30 seconds remaining.
We are requesting financial support to address the needs of transportation, childcare, food security, and credit health, because from our long-term work with our families, we've identified those as the most in need and the most common for when emergencies come up that prevent our families from attending community service, doctor's appointments, jobs, all kinds of things. I think my time's up. That's all. Thank you.
Anybody here from the warehouse or online? Going once, going twice. All right. Next up, Wheeler Mission. And then followed behind Wheeler Mission is Amethyst House. So if you can sign in after that. And come on up.
Hi, I'm Dana Jones with Wheeler Mission, and I'm pleased to approach Monroe County to apply for the needed kitchen equipment supplies funding through support through the Sophia Travis Community Service Grant Program. Altogether, Wheeler Mission Bloomington is asking Monroe County Council to consider awarding a grant totaling $7,888.61 toward the mentioned items inside the grant. Sheltering nearly 800 people in 2022, with 400 of those being first-time guests, each arrival and stay at Wheeler Mission Bloomington is identified by a unique set of circumstances, including but not limited to physical and mental illness, substance abuse, medical emergencies, joblessness, financial loss, underemployment, and housing insecurity, among others. Thankfully, as our community's largest shelter provider, Wheeler Mission Bloomington is in a position to offer low-barrier emergency sheltering services each day and understands the importance of collaborating with other community service providers, identifying next steps for securing community resources for Bloomington's most vulnerable citizens. Wheeler Mission Bloomington prides ourselves in our position of providing needed services such as daily meals, where our team and community volunteers accept individuals as they are and provide a safe, warm place of shelter for those who may have no other option. A neighbor experiencing homelessness can show up at our Bloomington campus just as they are, without the need for an ID, fear of a warrant check, or drug alcohol screen. Our team is ecstatic that we were able to successfully transition our emergency sheltering services guests from our Center for Men location to our new emergency sheltering services facility the 1st of December this past year. Such a move has been pivotal as our Center for Men now operates as our exclusive long-term programming site, along with our administrative offices and our cafeteria, where we serve 3 meals every day, including holidays, as well as evening snacks to our guests experiencing homelessness, as well as the general public seeking free meal services. As one of our primary measures of hospitality since 2017, Wheeler Mission Bloomington has served a staggering 500,000 meals plus to our neighbors in need. On average, our culinary team primarily consists of community volunteers. Daily welcome 100 individuals to our campus's cafeteria, where we serve at least 250 meals a day. On average, including breakfast, lunch, and dinner, including weekends and holidays. To put our meal service program in perspective, Wheeler Mission Bloomington was fortunate to provide 77,624 meals to our communities most vulnerable this past year, and we are fully expecting the need for our free meal service to continue to increase. Considering there are very limited free meal programs on the west side of Bloomington, we understand the importance of continuing to lovingly share our ongoing efforts to serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks to those in our care. However, the consistent, unending use of our commercial kitchen 365 days a year to provide meals for those in need has come at a cost of much of our equipment, thus requiring an upgrade to the aforementioned items in our grant application. Therefore, a grant award from Monroe County Council's Sophia Travis Community Service Program toward Wheeler Mission Bloomington's meal service program will allow our team and community volunteers to continue to provide an open, welcoming, kind, and compassionate environment to meet the complex needs of our guests experiencing homelessness, as well as anyone else in need of a meal. Thank you for considering our request.
All right, ready? I'm Scott Bischoff. I'm the clinical director with Amethyst House. Amethyst House has been in Bloomington for over 40 years. We're a nonprofit agency that serves individuals seeking to recover from drugs and alcohol addictions. We have a capacity of 32 residential beds. We also do a lot of outpatient work, and increasingly we've been doing a lot of trauma-based therapies for individuals with substance abuse on an outpatient basis. Our costs have kept, like everybody's costs, our costs are increasing, but one of the biggest areas of increase has been the cost of food. Over the last few years, our annual budget for food for a residential program has gone from $35,000 to $46,000. And even though we work with Hoosier Hills Food Bank, we, are always trying to figure out how can we, make this manageable. It's just been increasingly difficult to again, kind of keep up with the inflation. And as we all know, the nutrition is vitally important for individuals in recovery. All of our individuals across the board who are in residential are malnourished. They're coming, if they're coming from jails, prison, from high stress, a lot of them are coming from homeless situations. And good nutrition is so important, not only to help prepare their bodies, but help to manage their depression, their anxiety, their other mental health, issues that are going to come along with, their recovery, but also post-acute withdrawal. Large number of our individuals are addicted to methamphetamine, to heroin, fentanyl, and the post-acute withdrawals can last for years. And one of the most effective ways to help them speed up that recovery process and get their minds back to the healthiest place as possible is through good nutrition. And so part of our request is for assistance with that. The other part is that we've always been wanting to treat the whole person, but that's been increasingly area of focus of ours. And with me on board, I'm a licensed psychologist. We have, it's rare to find a person that hasn't had head injuries who come to our program, either through violence, domestic violence, accidents. It's not common for our people to have had between 3 and 30 overdoses. Every overdose has the possibility of causing brain damage. Research shows 20 to 40% of our population is going to have ADHD, huge amount of learning disabilities. And a lot of our folk have used inhalants, other substances, chronic alcohol consumption. And so it's our problem is we know these things are there, but
15 seconds
I could test for them, but we don't have the equipment. And so the other thing that we're requesting is assistance in being able to get some resources where we can actually get a much better idea of actually what's going on with the individual so we can treat them best. The other part of that's an instrument called the PAI, where we can actually figure out, is somebody got a personality disorder? Is somebody, got a clinical issue that's been undiagnosed? Because our people are increasingly complicated, and part of recovery is there's all kinds of systems, and it's extremely important that we be able to accurately figure out as much as possible what's going on with the person to maximize, how we approach them, how we work with them, even how we approach recovery with them, through is writing more effective, is, et cetera. So those are the things that we're requesting. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sandy Keller, and with me is our Director of Operations, Erin McAllister. I'd like to thank the Sophia Travis Grant Committee for the invitation to talk tonight. My Sister's Closet is an organization that helps low-income and at-risk women with professional clothing, interview training, and employment assistance. 74% of the women we serve are homeless or on the verge of homelessness, and 64% are victims of domestic violence and have a history of childhood trauma and are moving past unexpected job loss and lots of transportation issues. My Sister's Closet is respectfully requesting $3,450 to supplement a grant from the Bloomington Board of Realtors and artist Mark Wallace to create a functional and artistic bike rack in our parking lot. First, we don't have a secure bike rack. Many of our clients, supporters, and volunteers use a bike for their main method of transportation, and we have a history of our bikes being stolen at our location. A bike rack would resolve this issue and give them the confidence to come inside. It would also serve as a point of historical interest for residents and visitors coming to Monroe County, attracting women who feel the work of suffragettes who got out the right for women to vote was an important part of women's rights in the United States. We believe these women who see this unique bike rack featuring these suffragettes would feel compelled to come inside and also support our mission. This historical picture features determined suffragettes that Erin was going to hand out to you, who advocated for women's right to vote using their bicycles as one of the many tools we use in our regular programming to encourage women who have left previous positions because their personal dignity or basic rights were put to the test on the job. We show them they have more power and more of a voice than they previously believed. Over the past 25 years, multiple clients have found their way to our organization because they experienced gender discrimination. They've reported being sexually harassed at work or given a condition to exchange sexual favors to keep a job. They've been told they had to work longer hours without additional pay. They were not being paid for the same wages as their male counterparts, and due to a pregnancy or a female illness, they often lost their jobs because they were deemed unreliable. Our traditional programming teaches them how to advocate for themselves in the workplace so these experiences do not happen again. We show them these iconic pictures of these courageous suffragettes who paved the way for these women who would come after them to be able to vote, hold office, and advocate for women's rights in the workplace. The biggest message they hear at My Sister's Closet is that they are not alone, and there's a whole army of like-minded women who support their right to vote or to work with dignity and equal pay. These images and this bike rack would reinforce that in our community and for our women. And we think that this meets the requirements of the Sophia Travis Grant for job and personal security as well as transportation. Thank you.
Looks like we have New Leaf, New Life representative virtually, so please go ahead.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. I am Jordan McIntyre. I'm the executive director of New Leaf, New Life, which is our community organization for reentry needs for folks leaving incarceration here in Monroe County and sometimes the Indiana prison system. We help folks with any reentry needs they may have, so obtaining personal documents, maybe applying for treatment, applying for housing, even down to basic needs like needing clothing, food, any needs that they may have. We work very hard to try and meet those needs, which is why for the Sophia Travis grant, we are requesting a little under $8,000 to help us continue to support staffing. So that funding would be to help with our 2 current case managers and also a case manager that we're hoping to hire by the end of this week to give us a little bit of extra support. So yeah, we appreciate any support that you guys are able to give us with that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephen Conrad and I'm here on behalf of Planned Parenthood's Bloomington Health Center. We are a leading provider of sexual and reproductive health care, and our health center serves approximately 2,800 unduplicated patients per year. As a safety net provider, we do not turn away patients, no matter their income or insurance status, no matter what. And we do serve a high volume of patients who require financial assistance to obtain their needed health care. Over the past 12 months, 76% of our patients in Bloomington were uninsured or on Medicaid, and 66% reported an annual income at or below the federal poverty level. For many people in Monroe County, Planned Parenthood's Bloomington Health Center is their only point of access to basic health services. Planned Parenthood is respectfully requesting a grant of $6,200, which we will use to help cover the cost of care for patients who are uninsured, underinsured, or living below the federal poverty level. Specifically, we are requesting $5,000 to help subsidize the cost of all our health services, with the main ones being contraception, wellness and cancer screenings, HIV/STI services, and gender-affirming hormone care. With the remaining $1,200, we will purchase a case of E-Contra. E-Contra is a type of emergency contraception, commonly called the morning after pill, which we can distribute over the counter to anyone visiting the health center, whether they have an appointment or not. This request is coming at one of the most challenging times in our history. Starting next week, Indiana's near total abortion ban will go into effect. Even if a patient meets the ban's extremely rare exceptions, they still won't be able to access abortion care at Planned Parenthood, as the new law has written clinics out of the state health code. Although we will no longer be providing abortion services in Bloomington, our staff is ready to continue helping patients access the care they need. The E-Contra purchase with grant support will help us distribute emergency contraception to folks who may struggle to find it or afford it, especially as the public demand is increasing so drastically. All the other financial assistance will help patients continue accessing their contraception of choice, HIV/STI care, cancer screening, and any number of other health services, no matter their ability to pay for that care. Just to be super clear here, we are not requesting grant funding to support abortion access, and we will not be providing any abortion services starting next Tuesday. We are requesting grant support to help patients access everything else, because the need for STI testing and treatment, life-saving cancer screenings, affordable birth control, gender-affirming hormone care, and more doesn't stop just because of the new ban. No matter the financial challenges the new abortion ban will cause our organization, Planned Parenthood is determined to keep our doors open in Bloomington and continue providing patients the care they need. This grant will go so far helping to ensure the full spectrum of legal, sexual, and reproductive health services is available to everyone in Monroe County during this confusing and dangerous time. Thank you.
Hi, it's good to be with you and here and in this very cozy environment with the, what, 6 of us in here? 7? So it's good to be with you. I'm Forrest Gilmore. I'm the Executive Director of Beacon. And since we're right here at the end, I'm going to get straight to the point. In a nutshell, Beacon's an anti-poverty organization that works with people experiencing extreme poverty, especially hunger and homelessness. The thing I'm most proud of that we do is that we house people, and we actually through the years have built up to a point now where we're the nonprofit that houses more people experiencing homelessness than any other nonprofit in the county. And that's something I'm truly proud of about the work that we do, really working on solutions to help people get out of their homeless situation. Today we have a very simple request. We're asking for laundry machines. Our laundry machines have died, and we have just 2 functional machines right now that are on their last legs. And so we have 4 sets that we like to use with our clients at the day center at Shalom Center. And we've gotten one machine funded through another source, and we're hoping that you will help us fund the additional 7 machines, $8,750. Just for context, we have about 4,000 loads of laundry done at our center every year. So far this year, we have not been able to provide laundry for our clients. So we're at 0 from January 1st to the date because we have not been able to get new machines going and running. So we're just relying on this one set of machines to do our towels and laundry for our custodial purposes, so they don't go down too. So we hope that that's a compelling project for you, and are grateful for your support. And you've been backing us for, I don't know, a long time, as long as I've been with you, going back to 2010. So I'm just very grateful for what you've done for our organization over the years. So thank you very much, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Well, without further ado, that was the last presentation. So again, I just want to say thank you to all the community members that came and took their time to present to us, whether you are here virtually or here in person. We definitely appreciate that. Again, we just want to remind those that we will be doing, County Council will be announcing the grant award fundings for the Sophia Travis grant awardees will be announced during our County Council work session on Tuesday, August 23rd, starting at 5:30 p.m. here in the NatU Hill room. So I don't have anything else. I don't know if any of my colleagues here have anything to add.
I'd just like to say thank you to all of the organizations for the fantastic work that you do and the difference that you make in the lives of the people in this county.
All right, and my colleagues virtually, Ms. Munson and Mr. Iverson, would you all have anything else to add?
Great job. You heard from a lot of organizations tonight, and it sounds good. So, see ya.
All right, and without further ado, we are adjourned. Thank you all so much.